Welcome to the CEO's blog for this week, and hopefully on Sunday we'll be racing at Orange with the TAB Carnival Cups. Now this is the precursor to the main meeting. However, the very poor weather conditions that are predicted in and around Orange and the whole Central West will dictate whether that race meeting goes ahead. Of course, we've got to look after the welfare of the horses, the safety of the drivers and protection of the track surface. So under our agreement with Towak Park, Racing New South Wales, is that we won't do anything to damage the surface of the track. So if the rain really keeps coming, we may well have to transfer that meeting to Bathurst. It's better to transfer the meeting to Bathurst than to abandon or even attempt to postpone. So please keep an eye out for what's going on there, and hopefully we will go ahead, if not this weekend, the following weekend. And this weekend we've got Broken Hill back racing for their season. Tracy and her team have done a hell of a lot of work to get the track and surrounds up to an absolute wonderful standard. So racing back there, and we look forward to their big Carnival Cups meeting in March. Last night at Penrith we had our first 2-year-old race for the season here in New South Wales. The winner was All the Rage, trained by Kerry-Ann Morris and driven by Josh Gallagher for owner Andrew German. Kerry-Ann trained the Quinella with I Can Fly, beaten ahead by its stablemate, which will boost the Team TEAL fund. This was also the first 2-year-old guaranteed race for the season, sponsored by Harness Racing New South Wales, with another to be contested at Newcastle on Monday.
As they swing in, I Can Fly leads, has a little kick, but All the Rage looms up on the outside. They're having a great little 2-horse war. All the Rage puts the nose in front, gets up.
And the feature races keep rolling on out at Tabcorp Park, Menangle. The Simpson Memorial was the feature race last Saturday night and was won in very impressive fashion by He Ain't Fakin'. Trained by Chris Frisby and driven by his son Anthony, the horse is owned by Peter and Graham Ward and Chris Frisby himself and was bred by Eric Basham.
Down the outside, He Ain't Fakin' runs home strongly. The leader, Tasty Delight. Here's He Ain't Fakin' finishing at the rate of knots down the outside. Oh, he's put paid to them. He Ain't Fakin' hits the lead, comes away, and He Ain't Fakin' wins it.
This Saturday night, the Group 2 Hondo Grattan Sprint will be the feature conducted at Tabcorp Park, Menangle. On Friday and Saturday night, New South Wales horses figure prominently at Tabcorp Park, Melton. Of course, this is Victoria's big carnival, and we can't wait to see it all unfold, especially on Saturday night. However, the kick-off proceedings, Tough Monarch will be in an elimination of the Great Southern Star for Ricky Olchin, attempting to qualify for the $300,000 final, which is conducted later in the meeting. On Saturday night in the Hunter Cup, the 2020 New South Wales Horse of the Year, King of Swing, heads a trio of Belinda McCarthy paces, but will be up against Lochinvar Art, which is bred and owned in New South Wales. Interestingly, both horses, King of Swing and Lochinvar Art, are bound for the $1 Million Miracle Mile, but have both won their last 5 starts. The resurfacing work of Riverina Paceway Wagga is almost completed, but a decision has been reached here at Harness Racing New South Wales that the meeting scheduled for Tuesday 16th of February will be transferred. The venue and program for the transferred meeting will be notified to participants next week. Trials will be conducted at the Wagga track during that week of the 16th, with racing to recommence on the following Tuesday, February 23rd. The New South Wales Horse of the Year Awards were announced by Michael Gearin on the Pace earlier in the week. However, King of Swing naturally was crowned as Age Pacer of the Year and New South Wales Horse of the Year. Congratulations go to the owners of the horses who won the other divisions. Aldabella and Ursula, Antonia, Tasty Delight, Gender and Stride, Line Up, Tough Monarch and Better and Force. King of Swing, the Horse of the Year, gained 100% of the votes and was the winner of the Grand Circuit races Miracle Mile, Hunter Cup and Black's a Fake in 2020. For full transparency, the awards are voted on by 10 members of the New South Wales media. When it comes to the Garrard's Horse and Hound New South Wales premierships, they are decided on what happens on the track. Craig Cross was the New South Wales Trainer of the Year, Luke McCarthy Driver of the Year, and Cameron Hart the Young Driver of the Year. Blake Fitzpatrick took out the New South Wales Trotting Trainer of the Year, and Robert Morris the Trotting Driver of the Year. Still to be announced are the Breeder and Owners of the Year, as well as the Broodmare and Sire of the Year winners, and the special awards, which are determined by the Harness Racing New South Wales board members. Presentations to all the awards recipients will be carried out in the coming months at industry functions, which are already on our calendar. So congratulations to all the winners, those who have been announced, those who will be announced, and we look forward to presenting you with your trophies in due course. As we know, the Women Can Team TEAL promotion started on Monday, February 1, and already after racing last night at Penrith in New South Wales from Harness Racing New South Wales, over $3,500 has been raised towards funding of women's ovarian cancer research. On Wednesday night at Bathurst, Steph Burley won with Havana as the owner, trainer and driver, and for such a feat, Harness Racing New South Wales has value-added $200 to the campaign. That means that $400 will go to Women Can Team TEAL for the win. I've also reached out to the New South Wales Owners Association, and because Steph was the sole owner of the horse, perhaps they will kick in another $200 in this unique circumstance. We can thank Duncan McPherson for his dedication to Team TEAL and Tabcorp for its national support, and I again encourage all clubs, owners, trainers and others in our industry to support the fundraising efforts, which we hope will reach $50,000 in New South Wales this year. Remember, Tabcorp are donating $200 for every female winning driver across Australia. A wonderful effort from our major wagering partner. The milestone for the past week was Darren Hancock's 1,900th winner as a driver, which occurred with Drop the Hammer at Menangle last Saturday night. But whilst talking about Menangle, a new programming of metropolitan races, that's the Saturday night meetings, will be introduced straight after the Miracle Mile Carnival. David Wanson has been out there speaking with, talking to, conversing with, consulting with trainers who regularly race at the track. So if you haven't been consulted with or you don't know what it is, I strongly encourage you to be proactive, contact David and understand what this system is. No system will satisfy perfectly every participant, but we have to try to get to a majority consensus position. So reach out to David, because these changes will come into effect after the Miracle Mile Carnival and will not be reviewed until as early as June at the best. And the COVID update for this week, as we know, it's a moving situation at all times. Masks on, masks off, outbreaks here, not there. Anyway, we have to do everything we can do to protect our industry. So when it comes to masks, masks must be worn when you're in confined spaces. That's in the stewards' rooms, in the swabbing facilities, because not only do we need to protect the industry in those closed spaces where the government health orders clearly show that the closer the area, the easier the transmission. What we have to do is also protect our staff, because the spread through this industry will shut us down. What we will be looking at next week, that's the Harness Racing New South Wales COVID Management Group, is how we reintroduce owners into the race stalls at Menangle Park. With the big carnival races coming up, we certainly want owners to be there to enjoy the excitement of their horses competing in these big races, really up close and personal with their horses, trainers and drivers. And another point that we are really pushing hard on now is it's time to wear the colours, the drivers that is, that are in the race books. A hell of a lot of marketing expense goes into the fact that in the newspapers, these colours are published. From the newspapers, they go to Sky Channel. It helps punters with following their horses in the first four when they're watching the races on Sky Channel. So drivers, please wear the colours that are in the race books. If you have an issue with that, you'll need to contact the stewards well before the meeting, but that is the way the rules work. You wear the colours that are in the race books, and now is the time to move back to that situation. And with COVID, please remember social distancing, personal hygiene, wearing masks, not compulsory, but it is a tool to stop the spread of the infection. All the best with it. Remember, we wish to keep our industry safe, protected and continuing to race. And last weekend, news spread very rapidly that Jimmy Brown, our very popular driver from Young, had been involved in an incident which turned out to be very nasty, and he had been airlifted to Sydney because of a brain trauma. Whilst it appears the injury is not life-threatening, from all reports it will be a long road to recovery for Jimmy. I would like to thank all our wonderful people who have been supporting Jimmy and his family since the incident, which was not harness racing related. There are far too many caring people to name, but Maria, a special thank you to you and your mother, Barbara. And to close, all the best of racing luck for this week. If you can't be at the track, don't miss the racing action on Sky Channel, where our partner, InVision, will deliver to you a wonderful product.